we ended the we started the session with arriving to the guild hall, the spiderweb guild, and um, we were preparing to leave as time is growing shorter. A couple of things happened. Majority of us went to Ted's class to better um, increase our skills. I think we went on a small shopping spree.
Correct.
Valorant got the tome that he requested. I don't remember if Voltaire, Damon, did anyone else buy anything?
I don't remember.
Oh, right. I got potion.
Yeah, I bought potions too.
Yes, we've had a little shopping, an in-game and out-game shopping episode. Raziel bought a few things as well, and then after that little shopping trip, we boarded onto Lulu's airship, and we headed towards Snow Vault. A few
Correct.
things happened in the airship. There were some conversations that been had, but generally the trip to Snow Vault went
Mhm.
without issue. Once we landed, we were greeted by not Bodrad because Bodrad's dead.
I don't think you guys were graded by anyone.
we're
You
not?
guys actually got off the airship and pretty much
We went to Runrose. We went
yes.
to Runrose.
Yes.
We went to Runrose to visit him, see how he's doing, and how
Tash.
Tash, thank you. Was doing some back and forth were exchanged between Willow and Voltaire. But we eventually had to say a quick goodbye to attend the funeral. The funeral was somber. There were a lot of memories and stories exchanged about Bodrad's life and successes, though we were not sure what caused his death.
All right, I'll take it from here because
Thank you.
Yeah, you got pretty much it spot on. So Tarthano met up with you guys after the funeral and invited you for dinner because you guys have been traveling for a couple days. You need a good meal, and he also wanted to discuss the theory that Bodrad died due to lodeoganite poisoning, due to his immune system. And he asked if any of you had any prolonged contact with lodeoganite, which Voltaire explained his situation. Tarthano asked him if he could do some evaluations on him to see how he's able to sustain, his, figure with the effects that he has from the lodeoganite. And that's kind of where we left off. Oh, and you guys met Bodrad's daughter, who asked Willow to see if a boy liked her.
Right, it was Tash out of game. Crush on Tash, that's right. We also talked to Bodrad's parents.
It was Bodrad's father and his half sister.
We learned that Bodrad's father had many children, but only treated them as more like just numbers to raise more than actual children, what general humanoids tend to feel about it. The half sister seems a little bit more so open, but is still very hardened. What is it? Hard at the heart, or is it something in that matter?
You kind of got the general gist of it.
Yeah. Is there anything else were we supposed to go? Did we meet up with Tarthano now? Not
no.
yet.
So we're gonna continue after the whole funeral. After Tarthano asked for you guys to go to dinner with him, he has little Celine going with him because her mother needed some time to be alone. And yeah, give me a second. Let me find the freaking. I lied. That's the wrong map. So he's gonna bring you to Celine's favorite tavern called the Laughing Horse. I forgot to put Tarzano on the map. Feel free to place your characters on the map. I gotta find a couple.
Wait, why is it not letting me just drag and drop it?
Ish. Oh,
Oh, there we go. Sorry.
oh, excuse me.
Oh wow, it has HP now.
I'm just gonna put Gorns on there, even though he's not with us tonight. Who am I missing? Lulu,
Along with the goat.
along with Frisky. Yes,
Course.
but Frisky's gonna be outside. So yeah, we don't really need to like. This is just for visual purposes. This is mostly gonna be theater of the mind. Basically, Tarthano says, "So it's been a little while. How are you all faring? Tell me everything."
I think I'm doing well. Had quite the adventure so far, running around looking for the cultist people.
Any luck?
So far, the biggest lead we had was a temple. We managed to find a baby titan there, but it looks like we were too late to stop the main activity that happened, unless it was just the titan. But I think they unlocked something else while they were there. That's probably our biggest event so far.
Lisa, that is not good. And anything else? No? Well, let us enjoy a beautifully prepared meal on the house. Don't even worry about paying. I'm glad you all are safe. And you guys eat, you guys chit chat for a little bit, and it is roughly evening right now. I mean late afternoon ish. What would you like to do? There are many options to choose from.
Damon's gonna go and try and find a temple of Lult so he can try and seduce the goddess. Yeah. Dave won't let Damon try and seduce a dragon, so a beautiful spider woman is gonna just have to do for now.
Anyone else?
I would have asked Tarthano before we left there. We wanted to do the studies.
We can go right now if you are okay with that.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
I sense a little hesitation.
Well, I was gonna say we need a place to stay, but I'm sure Renros will let us stay there, or we can check in on the hideout that was here. I'm not sure if we had agents restore that or not.
I have not heard anything about that.
Yeah, so we can go do the studies.
Okay. Anyone else have anything they want to do?
I'm gonna go to the Academy of Arcanum and see what's going on there.
Ooh, I'll tag along.
Oh boy, let's have some fun there.
What
So
you got there?
I will say that the academy, if you're a student, you're allowed to bring a +1, but with some good convincing, you might both be able to go in.
I'm very good at convincing.
I'm not. Go ahead.
All right, let me bring you onto that map. So right where Lulu is where you could place your tokens, and you arrive to it's a pretty well built school. They have banners out in the front in like a lavenderish sort of color, and you could hear inside, despite it being later in the afternoon, you can hear some teaching going on.
What?
This is you.
Oh.
After a few moments, you hear some footsteps coming up to the door, and it opens up to reveal a small, frail, elderly goblin woman. And she says, "Oh, Lulu, very nice to see you.
Nice to see you too.
What brings you here?"
I wanted to come and do a little bit of research about my gun, my rifle.
Oh, excellent. Um, normally we only allow one person to accompany you. And I see, if you looks past the door, you have 3 people with you.
Damon disappears into the shadow and then whispers, "No, she only has 2."
Uh, roll deception for me. She plainly saw you.
12.
She looks over where you were and she says, "I know you're there. You can't fool me. I teach children, you know."
Damon's
Yeah,
trying to
Jesus.
decide if he should try his charm or not, but considering how bad
I-
the previous roll was.
Do you mind if I jump in?
Yes.
Go ahead.
My heavens! I can't believe I'm actually here! Hi, Valorant Flame. I've heard many great tales of this place. I know there is a +1, but can you please give us this exception? We've traveled a long way here. Plus, I feel like, shouldn't everyone get to learn at least once while they're here in this great land of unity?
Roll persuasion with advantage.
Oh boy.
One too many.
I'll take the second one.
Okay.
She says, "I'll allow it just this once. But Lulu, they are your responsibility. If I see them scudding around the school without you, you're going to be in big trouble, young lady."
As she's saying this, Damon's already scudding around the school in the shadows.
I need you to roll stealth for me.
Damn it. 17.
I don't have a. Yeah, fuck it. We'll say you do it.
Sweet.
She says, "All right, I have to get back to class, but it was nice seeing you." She starts making her way back inside. You really tried so hard not to be seen.
I was gonna ruin it after getting a 17.
And you have access to the library.
Where to first, Lulu?
But while that is happening, I am going to cut back to Voltaire real quick. Who was accompanying Voltaire, just so that way I get an idea? Was it just Voltaire?
Looks like it.
Got it.
I think
Wait, is
two-
Cass's character doing something else?
The little kid doesn't know what she's doing. She was waiting till she got called out for not talking. Little kid will accompany. Why not?
Okay. So as you enter, you see around you like tons of machinery and bookshelves and some Lodale Ganite infused items. And in the corner, you see little Celine playing with a few toys in like a little toy box in the corner. And Tarthana says, "Follow me. I need you to take a seat, please." Okay. Now, is this... If you feel any discomfort, please let me know. You're bringing them all out, aren't you?
Yep.
And he starts kind of like reaching up with his, short stature. Even though you're sitting in a chair, he still has a hard time reaching all the way up. And he's just like moving your face around, moving your head around, looking at you all over. And he could see that your veins are like glowing, this like pinkish color, and he takes note of that. He starts jotting it down on a little notepad, and he says, "Curious. Might I take a little bit of your blood?
I don't know. I've not been cut yet. I
This
guess.
will only feel like a little pinch."
Okay.
And he takes out this comically large needle to him, and he positions it over one of the glowing veins, and he
Just like a slightly larger than a normal needle.
yeah, and he takes some of your blood, and he rushes over to, we'll say that there's like a little microscope here, and he puts it down on there. He starts investigating it, and you could hear like the little comment he's making, like interesting. And he looks at you curiously. He says, "What exactly did you do to have this happen?"
From what I recall, I had a shard of the purple one and the green one,
Nope.
cerulean
Cerulean and fuchsia.
and fuchsia, in my pockets. And one time when this is Mike, by the way, I brought him out. We had this little episode where we kind of floated around a little bit and changed colors. So I had a couple days in my pocket.
Interesting. And he looks over at Mike, and he's eyeing him down, seeing the what would be veins are glowing like a bluish color, and he's also glowing like a blue color. And he's just like, it seems that entirely negates the negative effects of this. This is intriguing.
Yeah, and then there's one more thing on top of that. When we are combined, we are
Oh, I noticed that before.
of another
Was
color.
not sure. Was not sure what that was, but it makes sense.
So you wanna take another sample while we're together? Because the first one was while we were apart. Maybe there's a difference.
Yes, that is right. He takes another sample, and he goes over and puts that into the microscope, and he says, "My God, this is brilliant." And he starts jotting down a couple like formulaic bits of information, and he's like, no, that's not it. That's yeah, but this would be that not that this it seems that due to your immune system and your composition and sheer look, you seem to have triggered a unique property of seen this before. This is very, very interesting. And as you guys are speaking, give me 1 second. Amidst the hum of the room and the instruments and the mechanical bits, a sudden hush falls over the room, and you hear Celine. She starts to cough, and she stands up, and she faces Tarthon, and she says, "Papa, I don't feel so good." And she rushes over to Tarthano, and as soon as she gets close enough, she stops where she's standing, and she begins to vomit. And it's black, it's ichor like, and she collapses to the ground. And
no.
Tarthana rushes over, and he says, "Oh, no, 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 not you, not you too, not you too."
Luke is gonna rush over and give her some of the lay on hands pool, which cures disease and neutralizes poison.
And look, as you are laying your hands on her and attempting to call upon your god to help cure this little girl, you realize that it's not working. She seems to be getting progressively sicker. Like what you have done kickstarted it a little bit more.
Oh shit.
And Parthano panically says, quick, go into the chest over there and get the Lodeo Genite, please. I have a Siri, please, 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 please.
I just pull one out of my pocket. Which kind do you need?
Give me the blue one, please.
I'll hand it to him.
And he kind of like turns around, and on the table he pulls out his hammer and just starts smashing the gemstone as frantically as possible.
I had powder. If you wanted to ask for powder, I would have gave you that.
I think you only have the pink kind though.
Oh, maybe.
And he says, Cece, please, please, just try this, please, please. And he sort of like funnels some of the powder into her mouth. And it seems to work a little bit, but after about a couple minutes, she coughs up another batch of black ichor. And she says, Papa, what's happening to me? You'll be all right. You'll be all right. Just don't panic. You'll be okay.
Something like a blood transfusion help, maybe? Could we put some of her blood in with the sample you took from me?
I don't know. I have to test her blood, see if you're compatible.
How long will that take?
I don't know. And then we're going to cut back to the school real quick. What is everyone researching right now? I know that Lulu wants to research a bit about her rifle and the technologies associated with it, and possibly Lodeo Ganite. So, give me 1 second. I guess, Lulu, I'll have you roll either history or arcana. I would say it takes you a little bit, but you are able to find some information about Lodeo Ganite and like theoretical technologies when it comes to like your rifle and other sort of weapons that harness the Lodeo Ganite. Is anyone else researching anything?
Differences between a sorcerer and a wizard.
Roll investigation for me.
Okay.
You definitely find out what the difference is. And it seems to be answering a lot of the questions that you have about your own identity.
Wait a minute. Am I actually a sorcerer? This might explain a couple of.
It's good to hear that you finally found it out.
Wait, you knew?
Willow has the "Are you fucking kidding me" face. Yes, I've knew since the beginning. Remember how I told you about the Elven village and its chief? Who am I to rob you of this discovery?
I'm just gonna blink a couple of times, turn around and keep on reading the book.
Willow, Damon, anything that you guys want to investigate or
Damon's gonna,
research?
Damon's going to be researching about weapons of shadow arts, and particularly about short swords and staves.
For the Shadow Arts one, I'll have you roll investigation, but it's going to be kind of like a high DC. I'll let you know right off the bat.
12.
Yeah, considering this is a school and they don't really have a lot of access to like shadow arts and whatnot, you find a lot of like technology-based books and science-based books, and some about weapons, but nothing about the shadow arts.
Makes sense.
Willow?
I would like to look at a few items. First one is the art of artifice and how to create weapons. History of the stars,
Okay.
Lodeoganite and its history, and I'm looking for possible connections with how it's obtained and potentially its uses and how it's related to the cult. Oh, and the almost forgot. Unlocking your inner self. I believe there's a book about that somewhere. You know, being conscious as you dive into your unconscious and whatnot, but that's maybe not as high on the list.
On one of the shelves, you actually find a book called Beef Gumbo for the Ether. It's about like knowing yourself inside and out and loving every aspect of yourself. And amongst other things, you do find just like Lulu, she actually hands you the book that she's reading about Lodeoganite. You read that it's a very like recent sort of element. Before about I want to say a year ago, there was no records of Lodeoganite. It seems to be a very recent thing. But regardless of it being so recent, a lot of technologies have been developed around Lodeoganite that could potentially like do healing or it could be weaponized and it could be used for other nefarious purposes or good purposes.
Where did Lodeoganite come from? How was it discovered? Is it a gift from the stars, mined deep within the earth?
You
Where
found
does it come from?
you find in sort of like the back of the book, sort of like the origins of it. And what you find is Lodeoganite was originally mined from meteors.
Interesting. Lodeoganites are mined from meteors, which means they're not typically from organically made from this earth. Is there a specific area where the Lodeoganites are being mined?
It varies by sighting.
Varies to the point that it feels random, or varies
It
as
it
in there's
very
no
random.
interesting. All right. History of the cult, if there is any.
For that, I will have you roll history for me.
Oh, good. 16.
You search and you search and you search, and you only find a sort of a newspaper excerpt of kidnappings and cultist sightings, and
Mhm.
the earliest date that you could find was about a few months ago,
And
and that's it. That's all you could find.
what does it say?
It says that strange robed figures uh were seen kidnapping seemingly random people and shouting something about ancients and uh the revival coming to an end.
Interesting. I'd like I don't normally use this often, but I have a sage background, so if I don't know exactly what it is, I would know where I would most likely find them. So if it's not in this library, where would be the next best thing?
Probably in the museum.
Wonderful. And I'll advise Lulu, Valoran, and Damon that we can gather as much information as we want here, but for what I'm thinking about the cult and the Lodeoganites, the recent discovery that they are not from this planet, I think a visit to the museum is our next step for information gathering along down the line.
Well, away we go.
Oh, I have to. Oh my goodness, I need to see Hank. Damon, I need to see Hank.
Damon,
Yes.
are you there, Damon? Are you sleeping? Damon?
Damon, if he left into a different corner, we'll find him later. But Lulu, Valorant, Hank is someone we helped before in our journeys, and he was working on a potion that has a very strong restorative factor. And I promised Jerry, and that Willow looks to Valorant, that to Jerry that
Yeah,
I'd
look, man.
bring either it or a small sample to help his ailing mother.
Okay, yeah, sure thing.
Yes. Now, okay, I think I've overlooked this fact long enough. Lulu, how do you have a gun?
He just has gun.
You're gonna have to repeat that question.
How does Lulu have a gun? How? For such a tiny thing to build such a massive weapon that's as just most likely bigger than you. How did you manage to do that?
Tarthano actually gave me the gun in hopes to go out and do some adventuring, I suppose. And
And research about the effects that the gun has.
yeah,
Now, did
because
he
she was
create
so
it?
little, she that's why he gave it to her, because she is not that she
Hmm. Very interesting. I mean,
and
No, go ahead.
and Tarthano did make it. It's one of his prototypes.
Ah, interest. Do I have? I think I have. Yes, I do. May I take a look at it in hopes to assist you in that journey of discovery?
Sure.
Okay. Well, um, I'd like to roll maybe an Arcana check, DM, to see if it's magical of sort of that any magical components.
You can definitely roll Arcana. And I will say, like, it's comedically funny how big this gun is compared to Lulu. It's sort of like a Rocket Raccoon, that kind of big ass gun, and she hands it to you, and it's even larger for you.
And he teleports
I
away.
I feel like I'm holding a minotaur's penis in my hand.
You've seen a minotaur's penis before.
Yes, and we will not go into more detail.
Good idea.
Though it was
Go
a
ahead.
night to remember.
Go ahead and roll.
Mind if I use my smithing knowledge as well to take a look at the gun?
Sure. Let's see. I guess
Oh, for fuck's sake. Ritual casting detect magic, and then right after identify.
they're gonna spend 21 minutes or half hour ish.
Yep. But I'll
Okay.
give Lulu a lot more information, at least about it, that may not have been recorded in books.
Okay. Give me 1 second.
Willow's like putting cards down surrounding the rifle. I think it would be funny if every time Willow does detect magic or identify, their eyes grow like black and it's like green matrix symbols coming down. Like analyzing, searching database. 95%.
What would my
Hmm.
role be considered?
For you, I would say history.
Okay.
I would say that the rifle gives off a sort of a mixture of abjuration and evocation, and a smidgen of conjuration. Yeah, Valorant, like you've never seen any sort of weapon like this. Even in your time, in various forges, and your history, you've never seen this sort of craftsmanship before. So it's kind of hard to pinpoint how it would function and like the components that went into it.
What a real mystery you have on your hands. Weird. Never seen something like this in all my times. Just weird, considering I come from a forge. Well, I wish you the best of luck. I'm sorry.
And for identify, yeah, it's just a Lodeoganite rifle.
Excuse me?
It's just a rifle. It harnesses the power of Lodeoganite in sort of like in the way that the engines of the airship do.
What? A +4 rifle.
What the? I've never seen a +4 fucking rifle.
But it has a limited amount of uses.
Okay, which are and how many?
It depends on the type of gem you put in there, or what color.
So okay. So this is a Lodeoganite rifle that
And it's a
it
prototype.
a prototype that uses Lodeoganite itself. With the general base stat is essentially a +4 to attack for
Mhm.
attack and damage, but depending on the color, it's I don't know, like 10 to 20 rounds, depending on the color, plus additional effects. That's the
Correct.
general gist.
Correct. And what
Okay.
you're gathering from that is again, different colors have different effects. It seems like from what you can gather from doing identifying the divination, the divining, whatever, that the fuchsia color are sort of like the damage crystals, and cerulean seems to be like a healing burst, if you will.
Now, is it burst as in like a pulse within a general vicinity or just towards the
Whoever she chooses to shoot it at.
Oh, okay.
So she could essentially shoot you and heal you.
Got it. Oh, ooh, ooh. Lulu, this is quite. This is quite the specimen. I'll give you the option. Would you like it to? Would you like to discover its effects on your own, or would you like me to tell a bit of it for you? I understand that the journey is for you to understand, but should the temptation arise, I will have majority of the answers for you.
She wouldn't mind any info that you had, and then obviously with her own usage, learn more on her own as she uses the gun.
It's smart to use the skill of others so that you have better knowledge going forward. I will draw the schematics, the blueprints, the general idea of how to use it, and I'll get back to you maybe at the end of day, depending on how long we stay here. How about that?
That sounds good to me.
Oh no, the children are attacking en masse. Lulu,
Ah.
kill them all. Kill them all.
Going on?
Dave, you're on mute if you're describing anything.
I just realized that. I apologize.
I was like, did I selectively mute Dave?
No, it was me. Yeah, so sorry. As the children are leaving the school, one of the little girls sees Lulu in the library and she says, "Hello there. Nice to see you here." And they all start playing outside, and the teacher comes out and she says, "All right, students, we're locking up now.
It was a pleasure to see your library. Thank you.
Thank you for not making a mess of everything.
Good heavens. Wouldn't even imagine of that.
Well, good day to you all." And she sort of like steps aside. And I assume you guys are going straight to Hank's house?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to cut back to the other group real quick. And just like before, Celine is looking and she is coughing and hacking, and it just sounds so horrible. And she's crying profusely, and Carthano is trying his best to keep a brave face throughout this whole thing. Not to lose my grandkid. Please, somebody do something, please. Call for help, please.
I don't know who we would call for help. I mean, we could get Hank. Might have that potion.
Yes, call Hank, please. Thing. I am desperate here.
In the meantime, you want to run my blood real quick to see if we're compatible for that transfusion?
Yes. And he said he goes and grabs the needle, and he rushes over to Celine and he says, "I am sorry, darling. This this one only hurt a little bit. Please, it's okay. It's okay." And he takes a little bit of her blood, and as he starts to take the blood out, you see as the vial starts to fill with like a dark red sort of liquid, almost black, and he seems very panicked and shocked about that, and he rushes over to the microscope and places both of your, I guess, samples on the little crystal glass microscope, and he begins his investigation. Is there anything anyone would want to do while this is happening?
I want to grab 2 more of each crystal. And is it just the cerulean and fuchsia that I see in the case? Yes.
Roll investigation for me.
From my bat's perspective, since
Shit.
it's the one that's over there.
Are you looking through your bat's eyes
No,
while you're doing this?
I was telling my bat to grab them.
Give me 1 second.
Or I mean, I can walk over there if that's.
I mean, that's entirely up to you. If you wanted to use the bat, I would just say roll a general intelligence check. But if you're gonna go look over there, I would say investigation. Yeah, as they're searching through the chest, you are finding a lot of fuchsia and a lot of cerulean. You don't see any other colors in there.
So I'll just make it so I have 3 of each total. I had some.
So are you just essentially like robbing his?
Yep. Well, it'd be 1 I gave him. I'm just replenishing that one.
And taking extras.
And taking 2 more. So yes.
Taking advantage of this dire situation. All of a sudden you explode. No, I'm just kidding.
While this is happening, can Lokia go do whatever she needs to do to get Hank here?
Have you been? I'll let you decide if you've been to Snow Vault before in your travels.
If I had to say, she probably would have, because after the whole thing with the siblings, she did spend like at least a few years just like wandering.
I will say at least with your knowledge of the Spiderweb Guild and their ties to the different locations, you do know of a Hankenstell that lives within Snow Vault, who is seen as a sort of doctor slash.
Alrighty, she's gonna run out of here then and start the investigation to find Hank then.
Are you going with her, Voltaire, or?
Yeah, I would be right behind her. I mean, how long would it take to grab a couple crystals and run?
How long would it take to rob her?
I'd say it wouldn't take too long. Give me 1 second. Let me.
All right, roll for robbing real quick.
Roll for theft. I'll say right before she goes, Loki's gonna reach into her bag and kind of grab onto the, think about mentioning it, and then let go and run out.
Give me 1 second. I'm setting up this map real quick. So I didn't think that everyone was going to be there.
I thought it'd be fun to make the lines meet.
I mean, that works. What the fuck am I missing? There's that, and then perfect. And I'm getting there first, and then we'll say like after about 5 minutes, you guys come rushing up. Is that okay?
Sure.
Okay. So we'll keep you at the edge of the map. Everyone else, as you approach the familiar Dragonborn, sitting on his rocking chair, smoking a pipe as he was the first time you met him, and he looks up and he says, "Is that Walter I see?"
My name is Willow, Hank. You know that.
I apologize.
That's okay.
What brings you here?
I actually need your help. Remember the ingredients that we brought back long ago? And you said you were going to make some potion that is potent enough, or the property of super regeneration.
Yes,
And you promised me.
I remember. And for like for like an old man, an elderly old man, he seems pretty surprised. He like gets a little pep in his step, and he rushes inside, not even like using his walking stick. And after like a few moments, he comes rushing out. I have it! I have it! I have it! It's right here.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. I would love if you could tell me how you made these. We can source the ingredients. I still remember that day, the sun leaf, the moon bloom, all the good stuff.
Well, I will say that a lot of these ingredients are pretty local and kind of rare, which is why I had you guys find them. I'm not as young as I once was, as you can see, and he points at his very glossy blind eyes. Can't really spot out the good herbs from my age.
People are here to help.
Let me get that recipe for you.
Thank you. The bed again.
I was like, for anyone who remembers from last time.
I
Oh,
see you in there. Don't mess up my blankets, please.
Top of the blankets.
Much appreciated. And he's like, where did I put that recipe? Ah, over here. And he starts making his way back out. Here it is, young Willis.
thank you. Before Willis is a new one. Willis is a new one.
Oh, that's right. Your name was Waylon?
Mariah Carey.
That's right. I knew it was something along those lines.
Yes, yes.
And
Well,
just as that moment, you hear from behind you the frantic footfalls of Lokia and Voltaire as they rushedly approach you all. Oh, new friends. Voltaire, is that you?
That's me. Hey, Hank. Hey, we got somewhat of a situation. Sarthano's daughter is fallen very ill. Do you still have that potion that we got you some ingredients for? Granddaughter, sorry.
The potion I actually gave to Willow.
oh, you remembered the name this time. Well done, Hank.
I still got it.
Indeed, you do. But, Voltaire, explain to me what is happening with Tarthano's granddaughter.
Yeah, I think little Kia got the close-up view, but she seemed to be, for lack of a better word, throwing up black liquidy substance, and we took her blood, and it was a very thick black, a little bit of red still, but not looking good. I thought this potion might help. I'm not sure how much we have of it and how much it'll take to heal her, if it
Hank,
even can.
Do you have any spare? Do you have another batch ready?
I'm so sorry. That was my only batch. I'm waiting on a couple other adventurers to bring me some new ingredients. You aren't the first ones I've asked. Certainly won't be the last.
Right.
So I'm sorry to say that was my only little bit of output. It's not a big yield. Still working on the recipe.
So
But
the one that you gave me is just the prototype.
yeah, I wouldn't say prototype. I'm just working out the kinks a little bit. It's pretty solid.
All right.
I've
What?
tested it on a few of the townsfolk here, and it seemed to be working wonders for them.
Good. What's the efficacy rate of this, and what is the dosage?
As much as their body can take. I guess it depends on the size of the creature.
about 2 medium-sized creatures at least the height of halflings, between 4 to 5 feet. Is it enough to cover this vial that you gave me?
And the vial that he gave you, it's small to him, and the majority of you, but it seems like a normal sized one in your hands. He says, as I said before, it's not a large yield, so it's hard to say how much use you can get out of it. It really depends on how bad the sickness is and how bad you really want them to get better.
And if we were to source more of the ingredients, how long does it take to make another batch brew?
I would say a couple days.
Because I don't, character-wise, I wouldn't know that Willow's getting it for Jerry because I was never with them at the shop.
I'm going to be honest here. That case, and no, I'm not going to apologize for this. That case sounds like a child that's already been marked for death, whatever we do. I'm going to give this to Jerry in exchange for power to protect you all. I'm willing to go to Tarthano to see if this is viable. But I need to have some to give to Jerry and his sick mother.
I'll message over to Tarthano with the earpiece and ask him if any news on the testing.
And after a few brief moments, he says, I don't know, it's not looking too good. Something with your blood type is not. Every test I've ran since you've left, it's not looking good. It's not looking promising. But I will keep trying. I will keep you updated.
Okay, we're working on something out here.
Please hurry.
I'll say to Willow, you said Jerry? Is Jerry's thing immediate? Because this sounds fairly immediate with this girl, because we can wander out in the woods and find more ingredients to have another batch.
Right, but the thing is, these ingredients that we sourced only come up, I want to say metaphorically, but some of them literally once in a blue moon. So to source those ingredients, tough.
But can't you make flowers and stuff? Can we not just make these?
These particular ones have to grow from the earth. The ones I create mostly come out of the ether.
Okay.
That is correct.
So there are special conditions for these types of flowers, and we would have to request the help of the guardians again.
And my greenhouse is not built to keep those growing. I can't source that here. Not yet, at least. I'm still working on it. Got to fill out some forms with the town and get it approved and go through about a couple of approvals, and it's a big hassle. I'm working on it though.
Does that already exist? Does somebody have that? Like, someone have some in town, like the town's guard or the Kingsman or anything that we can get it from?
I don't think so. I don't think anyone really knows about it but me. I could be mistaken though. I usually am at my old age.
Right. Well, I don't know what to do. Any ideas?
Nicole's asleep, so I'm gonna roleplay her character a little bit. She's not feeling good, so she took a NyQuil and she's kind of zonked. But you see Lulu start to pace back and forth and like panic, like in a panic. And after hearing what's happening to Cece, she's just pacing back and forth, hands on her head, and she looks like she's contemplating something, but she's worried as well.
Fine. Here, take the bloody potion. But
No, no,
no,
I think I have an idea.
Lulu, try. I don't know how much if it'll work. Walter, do you have a cerulean lodeoganite spare?
I do, yes.
Give it to Lulu.
Okay.
Yeah, that was going to be my idea.
I'll give you one.
And she tilts her gun to the side, and she smacks on it, and the pink one pops out, and she grabs the gem and just slams it into the gun. And she says, I really hope this is gonna work. I haven't tried this before. I've only ever used this gun once, and that was to scare somebody away.
What's changing your crystal out do?
It gives it a different effect.
Okay.
At least that's what Tarthano theorized.
Okay, so are you gonna just shoot somebody here with it, or what are we doing?
Is anyone hurting at all?
Theoretically, the cerulean one specifically is supposed to shoot a healing energy of sorts that would rejuvenate the body.
Okay.
To what extent, we are unsure.
So-
Though, today might be the day to test that function out. Either way, if it doesn't, child's dead and it's easy.
All right. So we're gonna go shoot the child with the supposed healing gun.
Correct. Worst comes to worst, we'll use the serum. Because the serum, at least, we have some form of, not guarantee, but specifications that it does work.
All right, sounds like a plan. Give it a try. Back to the workshop, as I'm still out of breath from running out here.
Perfect. All right. Bring you over there, and I'll just start chucking everyone's tokens on. Ski. Lulu. Perfect. You all make it back, and you see Tarthano holding Celine, and he says, "Did you find Hank? Did you find him? Where is he? I don't see him with you."
He's far too slow to make it over here, so we are going to try something else first. Lulu, are you there?
Give me 1 second. She just shut up. I don't know. She's awake now. So I'm trying to fill her in a little bit.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, guys. Yeah, Lulu would go ahead and test the gun out and shoot Celine with it.
And Lulu, as you take your gun out and you point it at Celine, you feel a sense of panic and a sense of what if this doesn't work, like flush over you. And Tarthano looks at you and he says, just try it, please, and anything. I think it will work. I think it will work. And as you put your finger on the trigger of the rifle and you pull it back, the rifle starts to glow a really bright cerulean color, and a beam shoots from it and hits Celine, and she becomes engulfed in the blue light. And you do this for a few moments, and you're wondering when the hell you should stop and let go of the trigger. But you feel like just a couple more moments, a couple more moments, a couple more moments, just a little bit longer. And after a little bit, you let go, and you see before you, it looks like nothing has changed. She still looks very sick, and you start to feel like this was all just a waste of time. Is that this gun is not what it was theorized to be. Like, this is just useless. This is what this is horrible. Like, you failed. And then Celine coughs up another bit of black ichor, and this time, after she coughs it up, she begins to regain some of her color back, and the gaughtness of her face begins to replenish into her very healthy childlike face, and you feel a rush of happiness and sadness all at once. And Tarthano sees this, and he starts to hug Celine, and he says, "I knew that would work. I knew this is amazing. Are you okay, Celine? Are you okay?" I'm okay, Papa. I think I think I'm okay. Still don't feel good, but I think I'm okay. And he looks up at you, Lulu, and he says, "Thank you so much. Thank you. I could not lose another one."
Lulu would be all up in her feels right now, nervous as hell because she just shot an unknown. Like, she didn't know what the hell was gonna happen. She just shot a little kid with something on a whim, and after the little kid just lost her dad, I think she'd be in shock right now, like disbelief that
Celine, after coming back to her normal self, stands up, and she rushes over and hugs Lulu. And she gives her a huge kiss on the forehead, and she says, "Thank you, Lulu. I really, I, I don't know what would happen if you weren't here." And she rushes over and to Voltaire, and she says, I'm really glad you and the red lady over there went and got your friends and helped me out."
No problem. I'm glad we ran into him when we did. I'm definitely glad you're looking better, feeling
And she
better.
quickly just grasps your waist and starts giving you a huge hug. And she rushes over to Loki and gives her a hug.
Lokia pats her on the back of the head very carefully, almost scared to touch her.
She does have, that black ichor throw up all over her dress.
Lokia nods. Yeah.
"Thank you, red lady. What's your name?"
Lokia.
Lokia. My name's Cece. I mean, Celine, but you can call me Cece. I'm 8 years old. My daddy just died.
Lokia's gonna crouch down to Cece's level and put her hands on her shoulders and just kind of look at her for a moment. I'm sure he's very proud of you for being brave and going through that.
I'm going to make sure that no one ever has to go through that again. Daddy would really want me to work on that.
Lucas just gonna give her a tight-lipped smile and stand up. I sure hope you do that.
And she's looking around the room and she notices Frisky and she says, "Y'all have a goat? Can I pet him?"
I would
Can I pet that dog?
ask Gorm
Can I pet
first.
that dog?
Hey, Gorm was like, yeah, sure. I guess." And she rushes over, she starts petting Frisky, and Frisky's just loving it. Meh, meh. Starts to chew on her dress a little bit, where the throw up was.
Ew.
And Tarthano looks at all of you and he says, "Thank you so very much. That I know that was a difficult choice to make, but I am very proud of you." And Lulu kind of like tears up a little bit, and he walks over to Willow and he says, "Hank still told me that he had a potion for you. Did you manage to get it? He told me I needed to remind you if I saw you."
Appreciate it, Alfano. Yes, I did get it. And then Willow's face kind of goes from caring to somewhat stern for a second. Looking into this space, there's a lot of Lodeoganite or Lodeoganite adjacent items in this room, correct?
Yes, a lot.
In the lowest voice and softest voice, Willow can say, Tarthano, I think we need to speak about your little hobby.
Yeah?
Your hobby might have killed your granddaughter.
How was I supposed to know that would happen? I don't know anything about this Lodale Ganite. Only what I've researched so far.
You know, that's why I'd like to speak with you later. I have some theories based on what just happened. I'm not scolding you or anything, but I thought you'd like the input. I'm happy that Celine is doing well, but I recently discovered something about that gun that Lulu has, and I'd like to share it with you. Can I
Okay.
see you at some point today or tomorrow to discuss?
How about we have this conversation now? I have a couple of rooms set up at the Laughing Horse for all of you, and it is no charge. No, don't worry about paying me back. Just all on me and the city. But if you all would give me and Velo a little bit to speak, that would be amazing. Please. I will send them on their way after our conversation is over.
Actually, since we're overdue, I'd rather just say it out in the open then, because it involves a few of our colleagues.
Yeah, the floor is yours.
All right. Looking at the situation at hand, my theory is that the cause of this black ichor is ludeoganite poisoning.
Yeah,
The amount of
is-
energy coming from the different kinds of stones, they emit certain effects as demonstrated by Lulu's gun.
yeah,
We figured out earlier that depending on the type of stone that's used, there's different properties that can be done, and that would require further testing. Voltaire is the interesting case where these stones have to say it bluntly, there's not much side effects. And that the mining of these stones are random because they are from meteorites,
Correct.
none from this world. Meaning, any additional testing should be done with more care than this.
And you see his very confident demeanor sort of fades, and he starts to realize his fuck ups as of late.
Tarthano, your ambition is great. But ambition has a cost. Be more careful.
I will I will try to speak with the city to invest in a more heavily how you say sterilized environment for this research.
I understand. Have you tried putting an inch of lead around the stones?
I have not.
That's the typical way that, in terms of the arcane, that's how we seal off additional magical effects for somewhat low to mid grade magical items. Lead blocks in any of the emissions. Adjust the thickness, see how it works, and see if you can find someone who knows worlds beyond. I can't provide much help there, but that's the best that I can do now to avoid additional casualties. And I will say it right now, Tarthano, you could be next. You've been working with these tools for how long?
Long enough to have written those books that you read yourself.
And yet, nothing. No side effect.
Nothing. I just thought I was lucky. I didn't think there was any adverse side effects other than
There's-
what I've seen from Bo.
There's no such thing as luck in this world. There's calculated risks, probabilities. And you tug at those probabilities to make it what you want by adjusting all the necessary macros that you can. You tip, you set up, you find the design, you tip it in the way so that it goes in your favor.
And he puts his hand on your shoulder and he says, the teacher becomes the student. I appreciate all of your inputs. And I will do my very best to be a little more cautious with my investigations and experiments going forward. I had not thought about the repercussions that this would cause until now, but you have opened my eyes, and I want to do a little better. Not just for Celine, but for everyone.
Good.
And I'll have you roll history for me.
I'm going to roll a 16 plus 7. I'm going to use one of my portents.
Okay.
So that's 23 total.
What you see in the very short glimpse into his past is torture and trauma and sort of a disownment and a lot of racism and bigotry and just a bunch of horrible shit happening to Tarthano. And you see as he goes to these various cities, this is sort of like a montage flashback because he thinks about this stuff all the time. Him going to various towns and cities and being kicked out because he's a goblin, and one particular town took him in and taught him everything that he knows and kickstarted who he is today.
Okay.
And another thing that you see in his past is the very beginning, during his childhood, you could see a very young and I would say uglier Tarthano, as a bunch of goblins around him are bullying him. And do you speak Goblin at all?
No.
So what you hear is a lot of like chittering and mumbling in Goblin, and very occasionally they push him around and they say Tarthano, Tarthano, and you could feel the sadness that Tarthana feels in that moment.
Okay.
I am very glad that you all are here. I don't know what would happen if you weren't. Could not bear to lose another, so danke very, very, very much.
And now we know this gun contraption has some positive effect. Are you able to make another for anyone else that has this ailment?
It would take some time. That prototype that Lulu has took me quite a long time to build. But I have the schematics, so it could only take half of that time. I would say maybe a week, 2 weeks, the most.
Oh, that's pretty quick. I would recommend making one so you have one to use for yourself to heal anybody.
I will say that if anything else comes up, it may take longer.
Are you able to use the crystals to help us with our weapons and stuff so we can, fight the cult better? Also,
You see, that is a hard one because I don't know your individual compositions. I wouldn't want to put you at risk. I know of Lulu's, I know of yours, but I don't know of everyone else's.
yes, that would be up to them up to you and them if they wanted to pursue that. But I will give you this longbow. If in your spare time, of course, you need to make the gun to heal others. But after that, if we don't return quickly, could you maybe look at this longbow and try something, experiment with it?
Yeah, I could try to do something and fashion something.
In your own time. There's no hurry. Of course, I have my other. I just give him a basic longbow, the one I started with.
Okay. He looks at you, says, I hope that you know that I have to deconstruct this quite a bit.
That you could tear it apart. It's my spare, so I don't need that one at the moment. So do whatever you want with it. Worst case scenario, I just go to the armory and buy a new one.
Okay. Well, if that is all the business of the night, I would very much like to bring Cece home to her mother. So, if you are done here, there is a reservation for you at the Laughing.
Thank you for the reservation, and I'll head out. I don't know if anybody else has anything.
Oh, Papa, do they really have to go? I was just having fun with the goat. Do they really have to go? Yes, child, they do. I need to get you home to Mama. All right. And as you guys make your way towards the inn, you pass through the center of the Celine district. And as you're walking through, you hear a lot of commotion and franticness coming from near the memorial tree. And as you approach closer, you see a large group of people, and they seem to be all arguing amongst themselves, and they seem to be looking around. And one of them says, "There, that one over there. Those were the ones that were here the last time. They're the ones that killed Bo." I'll just have you guys bring yourselves on the map, like right over here.
They're pointing at us.
You, Damon, and Willow. They're the ones that killed him.
Excuse me, but what last time are you talking about? We haven't been here in weeks.
And after you left, he got sick. You're not mourning. You're hiding your guilt behind those sorrowful faces.
No, my friend, we did not kill him.
Look him in the eyes, folks. Those are Bodrad's killers.
They
Probably got some dark magic hidden up your sleeves, don't you? Come to kill the rest of us now.
prefer not to, but if you attack, I can't hold. I mean, I would like
And they
to
start to
remain
get
alive
closer
myself.
And closer, and there's a lot of like shouting and angry spitting in your direction.
Oh. Mike's dead.
He just gets
Courage,
trampled.
man.
Mike's dead. That's it.
So you might want to have a chat with Tarthano. We are not who you think we are. We did
Yeah,
not-
y'all are killers.
we did not kill him.
Damon turns to Voltaire and says, "Isn't Tarthano their hero of the town? Wouldn't it ruin his reputation and the town's spirit if they see him as the villain? Maybe we should be the villains."
I don't want to kill innocent people either.
You
There's
don't
what-
have to kill them. Maim, injure, tarry a limb a bit. And one death probably is good enough. They'll probably scatter after that. I mean, just pick out the oldest looking one.
See a few of them in there.
a few old guys.
A few of them, yeah.
Are we really not gonna ask what the evidence is? Like, where do they even get this idea from?
And they're getting closer.
I don't know about your experience, but mobs generally aren't really here for a conversation. You're more than welcome to try, though. We'll stand just behind you.
God fucking damn it.
Willow's gonna get swarmed.
Mike has already been swarmed. Why
Looks
are
like
you
Willow
dead?
joined the mob. Willow joined the mob.
Willow takes up a pitchfork.
Citizens! Citizens! Everyone here! What evidence do you have against these people? You just
Well,
said
if you
he
really
got
must
sick.
know, they come here, they leave, and he gets sick right after. And then he dies, and they come back. Coincidence? I think not.
So you're saying someone amongst us can control sickness?
No. They poisoned him.
Why would we come back to his funeral to mourn him if we were the
Because
ones
it
that
ain't
point?
morning. You're seeing your beautiful work played out. You're reaping the benefits of what happened.
What benefits?
Yeah, what benefits to us would that make?
Seeing Bodrad dead. Seeing him buried deep underground.
Would it not just suffice if we had poisoned him that we would know he was dead? But the only reason we are back, which is half of your evidence, is because he was dead and we wanted to mourn him and support Tarthano and the rest of his family.
You say you're mourning, but you're just walking around like you're blameless. Disgusting. And one of the guys spits in your direction.
Why do you say so myself? Who thought of this crazy idea? Oh, you're just gonna move forward?
Damon turns and says, "Well, I suppose it's time to take a vote. How many of you feel like having a little bit of tussle with these fine mob folk here over here?"
I don't want to flambe, but I guess we have to.
Damon casts darkness right there. 15-foot radius on the guy in the let's go with that dude.
Second, I'm just checking something real quick.
I love that that works for everybody now.
The radius one?
Yeah.
Or
Willow, do you have anything to add?
Power word kill.
No.
No, I
Wilkia?
do, but there, Valorant had made such good points. Okay, we'll try. You,
That radius
whoever was speaking for the crowd, what is your name?
Fuck.
Ladies and gentlemen, fuck. Mr.
Yes.
Fuck here has started to speak for all of you. However, you great citizens of Snowvault are much more educated than, well, much more educated than using causality as the only solution. You fine folk have established Tarthano and Bodrad as your long, well, not long, but you put your faith in them to keep you safe. So why would, say, a bunch of strangers go in and kill those beloved when we were here to help you before?
And you hear from the darkness, the same person.
Oh my god, they already cast the darkness. Shit, that's not gonna help my speech.
Well, I mean, I could retcon that if Damon really.
Well, if it's already there, it's already there.
Okay. Well, you hear one of the guys, same guy that spoke before. He says, what does he say? I gotta look at my notes again. He says, "How do we know you ain't working for that cult thing we've been hearing about? How do we know that you all just didn't come here and kill Bodred for the cult?"
Damon turns to Loki and says, "Any chance you're still carrying one of their heads? We could just toss it into the crowd."
don't have their fingers?
I do have fingers, that is true, but I feel like that may convey the wrong message.
Yeah, you're right on that.
And also, if y'all really as innocent as you say you are, why the fuck are you putting these darkness shit on us? I can't see a damn thing. How do I know you ain't gonna sneak up in the dark and stab all of us?
Why,
Those
we
are
would
very
never do that.
I just realized I was on mute this whole time, damn.
Oh no.
No,
I
Luke
honestly
is
thought-
monologuing.
I thought
Soliloquy
Loki
up
was
his-
asleep.
It's so funny because I casted darkness before you. I was like, why aren't they listening?
Whoops.
No, it's okay. It saves me a spell slot.
Wait, you can cast darkness too?
I'm a
Oh, that's cool.
tiefling.
I really gotta look into stuff more. I don't know what that means.
You're really asking why we cast this cloud of darkness on a group of angry people approaching us, expecting them to attack us? I know you have better education than this.
Now that Damon's in the darkness, he's gonna start acting like he's part of the mob. Guys, maybe we were wrong. I mean, does this Mr. Fuck guy actually speak for all of us? Moves to a different part of the darkness and starts doing different voices.
I need you to roll performance for me, please. We'll say with advantage because they
Oh,
can't see
thank
you.
God.
Because they can't see you.
Oh, nice. 19.
Nice. There you go.
And you're saying, can you repeat what you just said and then add anything else?
Sure. Yeah. So Damon, first he makes a voice and he starts saying, guys, maybe we were wrong. Maybe we shouldn't really be trusting this one man to push us against these new travelers. And then he moves to a different part of the crowd. Yeah, maybe this isn't right. Maybe we're being manipulated. Moves to a different part. I don't know about you guys, but I don't like being manipulated like this. Where is that fucker who convinced us to attack them?
You sound like Lego Batman.
That's what I was going for in my head. I was literally thinking of that actor.
You did well. You did well.
Moves to a different part. Now, I don't know about you folks, but I don't like this one bit. Where is that bloody fool who convinced us?
Damon, are you able to see in the darkness?
You can, yeah.
No, but I can fight in the darkness. I can't see, but
Okay.
I have
Well,
blind fighting.
Yeah.
So you start to hear some like murmuring throughout the crowd, and they're like, you hear a lot of like, yeah, this guy does have a point. Yeah, this woman does have a point. Yeah, this older gentleman does have a point. Where the hell? Where's fuck? Where the fuck is he? And they start feeling around. The guy's like, hey, stop! And you just hear a lot of like punching and kicking. God damn it, stop!
David goes back into the darkness to start punching and kicking too. He's like, oh, I can't miss out on this.
I'm gonna have you roll an attack roll with disadvantage. Since you can't see, you don't know who the fuck you're hitting.
Do I just do like an unarmed strike roll, or is that different? Okay. 9 and 10.
So you accidentally punch another person.
I
But
mean, that is what David was going for. He didn't really care who he was beating up in there.
they think it's fuck, so they're punching even harder. Like it's one of those bad mosh pits where everyone starts fighting.
Cast minor illusion and keep them riled up. Be like, yeah, get them.
I don't think minor illusion can do any speaking.
It can
I
do
think it's just an
sound.
illusion.
Yeah, it can do sounds.
Okay. But just sounds, not speech, I don't think, right? Create a sound.
Range from a whisper
that's
to a
right,
scream.
okay.
It can be your voice, someone else's voice, lions, roar,
You're
etc.
right. Okay, yeah, sure. And you're just egging them on even more. How long does darkness last?
Let me check. Concentration up to 10 minutes. But I was thinking after riling them up, like slowly Damon's gonna just move.
And what you see is they're all punching each other, and then as soon as the darkness fades, they're like looking at each other. They stop punching each other, and they look at each other all confused. And they get up and just start walking away.
I'm so scared. I thought we were going to get killed.
I was kind of hoping at least one of you guys would instigate the attack.
Just Damon, as much as he wanted to, everyone else seemed to have an issue with hurting the innocent townsfolk.
And Lulu looks over at you three and she says, "What just happened?"
It appears they thought we had something to do with Bodrad's death.
Well, obviously that's not the case. It was Lodeoganite poisoning.
Yeah, but I think they were misinformed and don't know everything, and I'm not about to go kill a bunch of innocent people.
They knew about the cult the whole time?
Well, no, they heard rumors about a cult or something about the cult, about somebody in a cult kidnapping people.
That's in a newspaper.
They didn't say they know about the cult. They just saw that there was cultists, or they heard about cultists kidnapping people, and just assumed that you guys were a part of that.
Oh, we're teeny tiny.
We're teeny tiny.
Hi, my name's Willow. Hi, I'm Willow.
Ooh. No, we're
This is
bigger.
George.
Okay, I'll bring you guys back to size.
Aw, I wanted to be a giant.
I'm
Wait, that's-
giant, Voltaire.
Hold on, I gotta fix the size again. There we go. Oh fuck.
Have you guys noticed that Mike is actually bigger than everyone?
It's the aura makes it slightly
Yeah.
larger. Yeah.
The aura adds 10 pounds.
10 pounds.
Hoping for this really fucking big ass combat, and damn it, had a stat block ready and everything.
We're just too good.
Yeah, you are. I was not expecting that at all. I should have expected that, but I didn't. Let's see.
Now,
yeah.
should we have a nice night and decompress?
After that, kind of just go to the inn and have a few drinks.
We have a fine bottle with our names on it.
Ooh. Valor, is that the special wine you got from the Obsidian Snake's hideout?
Serpent.
Serpent.
Absolutely. It's scotch, not wine. So
Close
be
enough.
careful with it.
I will say that as you guys are sleeping for the night,
Oh,
you level up.
Yes.
You are now level 7.
What
Team?
can we get at
Oh,
level
sweet.
7?
Level
No, not 17.
17? What?
Love it. I need more
Oh,
spells.
God, I'm
Dave.
screwed.
I need more spells.
I am
Give me more
screwed.
spells.
just have to make it harder.
That is everything. What if I go to bed?
Yeah. Yeah.
Everyone
Your
have a nice
character or real
night.
life?
Real life.
Both.
Exhausted.
I feel you.
Same.
Oh
Alright.
yeah, it's like midnight 30 for y'all, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Womp
Yeah.
womp.
I mean,
So
I
what
don't
time
got to
is
be up for
it?
another. I don't got to be up for like another 10 hours. So
Yeah, I'm good.
I
I'm
have
off.
an 8 a.m. final.
I'm off tomorrow,
Hooray!
so
I wish I was off tomorrow. Maybe I'll call in.
Do it. Work is fake.
Tip that a little bit, and really maybe like work hard today.
Mm-hmm.
Hooray!
I was really hoping for that fight, but I get why you didn't want to fight.
I know, but
Yeah.
I know that if Gorm was here though, Gorm would have probably fucking thrown hands.
yeah, he would have thrown the chair right at him.
Yep. And I was kind of like banking on him being here to do that.
But I mean, most of us are more toward the good heroic side, and
Are we? Are we? You sure about that? You
Which
sure
one of
about
us
that?
are good and heroic? Voltaire is. Mike is.
the glowy angel guy? No.
I'd say Valorant's more neutral / good.
Okay, so most of us are neutral, but we have a decent conscience not to kill a bunch of innocent people.
eh.
A decent enough conscience.
Well,
Decent
Appreciate.
enough.
we do have to remember there are like actual, towns guard and law enforcement in this town too.
So
If
you're
we-
saying there are more people we could kill?
Dim
Actually, our
seeing
next arc
XP,
is just gonna be
XP.
us being the monarchs of
Level
This
8, here
town.
I come.
Sees money signs in his eyes.
Mr. Krabs, cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching.
And next session we raid the keep.
Next
After-
session, you fight for your lives.
After we kill the guard and all those who oppose us, we actually become the oligarchy of Snowball. That's our next mission.
Ooh, I like that. I like that very much. Dave, that's my new objective. To become the king of Snowvault.
We'll see how that plays out.
Just starts going around killing town guards every time we come near them. All right, I'm gonna crash too. See you guys. Good luck with your final and enjoy your week, guys.
You
Yeah.
too.
All right.
Yeah,
See
see
you
you
guys
later.
next week.
See ya,
Night,
guys.
loser.